Number 2, Number 4, Anthony Number 5, Josh O'Brien. Number 6, Cam Lindley. Number 8, Jack Blake. Number 18, Noah Number 27, Bruno Ringo. Number 37, Paco Curry. Number 90, Louis Masandi. And the captain for the 11, with number 14, Aiden Cohen. The head coach of the 11, Sean McCauley. In the 11 assistant coaches are Bill Presser, Jason Perry. The goalkeeper coach is Andy Swift. The head athletic trainer for the 11 is Josh Franco.
For a second time in 3 home matches, Mother Nature has been very kind to the Indy 11. An absolutely Chamber of Commerce Saturday night. We hope for the same quality of match as we have our weather this evening. It's Indy 11, it's Monterey Bay. It's yours right now on My Indy TV and ESPN+. Pitchside alongside Brad Ring. My name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. Bit to these team storylines coming up here in just a matter of moments. But a couple of individuals to key on. The story for the Indy 11, Brad, is tonight could be the night that Jack Blake breaks the all-time club scoring record, one that your teammate Eamon Zayed set some 9 years ago.
Yeah, look, 2 great players. Jack Blake's been a heck of a player. I remember battling against him for many years and excited for him and kind of being on the cusp of the record.
Frankly, Jack was a guy when he was brought here in 2023. Outstanding player, not a great goal scorer, but he's had 10 goals in each of the last 2 championship seasons. He's played just twice this year after a back injury. He has scored in each of those matches, including from the spot a week ago in the 1-1 draw against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. While Jack Blake is a legend in this town and in this league, Sebastian Lletget is as well known of a quantity as we will see in the USL Championship match this year. Brad, he has spent the last 11 seasons in Major League Soccer, and to me, it's the stat you will see on the bottom of the graphic. 33 caps for the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, look, he is a quality player, has been a quality player for years and years, so excited to see what he can do tonight and throughout this entire season in the USL.
They are hoping his quality can shine through because Monterey Bay has scored just once in their opening 5 matches. There's a couple of key players. How about 20 more, like 10 on each side? Starting lineup comes your way in a matter of moments. Thanks for joining us wherever you might be watching from on this Saturday evening. It's Indy 11, it's Monterey Bay. You're watching on My Indy TV and ESPN+.
Odds are, you know the way to a person's heart is through their stomach, but maybe don't know much about complex blood and bone cancers. Or you know all the ins and outs of a chassis, not necessarily all about robotic heart valve surgery. And while he's thinking about bulldozers, you're not thinking about him ever needing a stem cell transplant. But if you do need care, trust the expert healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
Droplight is a venture studio. We don't sit on the sidelines. We build inside the brand. From stadiums to festivals to the fastest tracks in the world. We turn brands into something people feel. Turning ideas into traction, partnerships into pressure, and momentum you can't ignore. This is Ignition. This is Droplight. Fuel for brave brands.
Every place has a purpose, and the people who inhabit those places have their own reasons for being there. The last thing on their minds should be concerns about the safety of the places they are in. When it comes to security and safety for all the places that matter, Dormakaba offers a seamless flow of integrated solutions that allow people to move securely about their daily lives. Because the places that matter to you matter to us.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling. You can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Tonight's match is presented by your Central Indiana Ford dealers, a proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. And by IU Health. Indiana University Health is proud to be the official health care and sports medicine provider of the Indy 11, supporting athletes in our community with expert orthopedic and sports injury care close to home. As advertised, let's get to our starting lineups. They are presented by your Central Indiana Ford dealers. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. We saw Amari Glasgow last year while on loan from Chicago Fire to Loud United. Elijah Paul back for a second season with Monterey Bay as well. Again, Sebastian Lletget wears the captain's armband in the middle of the park. For the Indy 11, Brad, It's the exact same starting lineup as a week ago. A 1-1 draw with Pittsburgh, a match that Indy led for over 70 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes go to the midfield there. That's kind of been a mainstay for them so far this year. But then Massanvi getting more minutes as we go. The wingers are really dangerous, so look for Indy to feed those guys.
Eric Dick was the USL's goalkeeper of the week, and their team of the week had 7 saves. Just couldn't keep a late one out where there might have been a bit of interference as the way that one played out. But again, we're going to go back and reverse that one from 7 days ago. These two teams, well, they've not had a lot of the ball so far this year. In case you were wondering, there are 25 teams in the USL Championship this season, and frankly, that possession stat, Brad, of 36% from this season kind of reflected last week in the match against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it sure did. Look, I think coming into this year, you kind of assumed a little bit of that from Indy 11 in terms of not being an overly kind of heavy possession-based team. But they've strung along some points here, a couple games in a row. So it's all about capitalizing on their chances.
Ball has been touched. Match is underway. We'll have activity coming up in a matter of moments. Thanks for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer on My Indy TV and ESPN+. Let's get to our keys. The match, they are presented by your Central Indiana Ford dealers, proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. Brad, what are you focused on for the home team?
Yeah, look, for Indy 11, it's feeding their dangerous wingers. So you got Bruno Rendon and Massanvi. They are both quick, athletic, dangerous one-on-one players. So look for guys like O'Brien and Blake and Lindley to feed them early, often in space, so they can create chances on the outsides.
From a home shutout standpoint, it's something that Indy has yet to have happen, a clean sheet in league play this season.
Yeah, look, Monterey Bay has struggled to find the back of the net, right? 1 goal in 5 games. So if it's going to happen, tonight could be the night. Eric Dick is playing phenomenal. So look for that to be a huge focus for Indy.
For the Crisp and Kelp, they want to score first. They need to score, frankly, just period. They've had 1 goal so far in 5 matches.
Yeah, look, I think that would really open the game up for them. If they can score first, that would force Indy to obviously chase the game a little bit and would open it up and allow some passing lanes to open up and some counterattacks to open up. So that would be a crucial thing if they can get that. And then the next one is just controlling the pace, right? We looked at that possession graphic. Although Indy is certainly below, Monterey Bay has connected twice as many passes. So they would definitely have the upper hand in terms of possession. And we're seeing that here just to kick off the game here in break.
Tonight's match presented in part by Dormacaba. For every place that matters, foul has been whistled. Let's reference our referee and his assistants tonight. Joshua Encarnacion is our center. Eric Del Rosario Gandara. Jake Brochu, our assistants. Our 4th official is Shane Richards. Ageless Aiden Quinn. Going to the speedy Luke Massanvi. Give and go to Massanvi. Just couldn't get there in time, but the right idea on the build by the Indy 11.
It's exactly what Indy wants, right? Get him the ball early, him as in Massanvi, right? He plays Lindley. Lindley tries to get him back. Didn't quite work. Kind of ran out of space, but that is exactly the motion that Indy wants to try to capitalize on as much as possible.
Massanvi, acquired just at the end of training camp. Spent the last 4 years in Minnesota United system. Originally from the West African nation of Togo, but has been in the States since the age of 14. Herbert steps to the fore and finds Rendon. Speed on the right flank for the Indy 11. Rendon has a pair of goals, and that one nearly tantalizing in front of Noble Okello. Fernando Delgado pulls it back in.
Yeah, great save by the goalkeeper there, and also pouncing on the rebound there. But Indy 11 has found Rendon and Massanvi, both with a little bit of space, a little bit of time. They both tried to make something happen. So a bright start from Indy.
Take a look at Rendon's effort. He had both a goal and an assist in the victory against Detroit City. That had the first of 2 tallies in the 2-2 road draw at Hartford Athletic 2 weeks ago. It was Delgado that made the play. We saw last year's Monterey Bay goalkeeper and Nico Campazano, now playing for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Delgado has come in, and he has played every minute of every match so far. And we talk about the goal-scoring struggles of Monterey Bay. To Delgado's credit, he has kept them in matches. They've allowed just 6 goals so far.
Yep.
And Delgado's got 13 saves. Massanvi, bit of a bobble. Here's Amari Glasgow. Plays the long-distance ball that Eric Dick will quickly track down for the Indy 11. Give you our injury report. It is better known as Back to Healthy, which is brought to you by IU Health, the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. Charlie Sharp continues to be out due to a leg injury. I think the hope is he is back to training next week. That's part of the reason why Noble Okello has been kind of moved forward to give Indy 11 more of a target player at the top of the attack.
Which I don't mind, especially with guys like Blake, Rendon, and Masanvi kind of umbrelling under him. If you can just hold up the ball, find one of those guys, make something happen. And also, let's not forget O'Brien, who's done a really good job so far this year, kind of in a more advanced role up in the midfield.
Jack Blake buzzing around Delgado. Good find to Nick Ross. Rendon commits the foul and knew he did because immediately after contact put his hands up. The universal sign for, I didn't foul him, but I really did.
Sometimes you get that called on if you look guilty. He definitely looked guilty.
He's playing more of a forward role now, but was a defensive player. Playing for the Northern Colorado Hailstorm, was the League One Defender of the Year. Glasgow looking for a window. Blast and does not get it through. That was Aiden Quinn. Puts it in front of him.
Great job by Aiden Quinn there. I think sometimes, especially young players, feel like they have to win the ball, right? Aiden Quinn is a veteran player. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to attack. He knows how to defend. Right there, you just saw him stand up the guy, right? He just stood there. He's waiting because I'm going to block any shot that it's taken. He just held his ground and waited for the attacker to get a little anxious, right? And kind of force something that wasn't there.
Last year, one of my favorite sayings is necessity is the mother of invention. After Aiden Stanley got hurt, it was kind of a rotating door at left back for the Indy 11. Kind of out of bodies. He said, all right, let's put Aiden Quinn back there. And now he's starting there on a regular basis.
Yeah.
What do you see from Aiden, Brad, in that spot?
Look, he's a really good, smart defender, as you saw there, and that I touched on. But he's really good distributing out of that left back spot. Now, I will say, I think he brings more to the team in an attacking central midfielder type of role, where he can roam around a little bit more and just get on the ball a little bit more. I think that's probably his preference. That might even be Coach McCauley's preference. But in terms of getting kind of the best players on the field, he's done one heck of a job in that left back spot.
White plays a neutral ball to get that back to the midfield for a throw-in for the visitors in Monterey Bay. This is their 5th year in the championship, and there was a couple-year stretch where everybody played everybody. We had 24 teams in the league. Now we've kind of rotated back to where you only play a handful of matches against the Western Conference. This is the first of 6 for the Indy 11 this season. But uniquely, through all those combinations and permutations, these teams have now played for 5 consecutive years. Monterey Bay won the first 2 times these teams got together. Indy 11 has won the last 2. The late Elliot Collier goal led to a 1-0 win back in May of 24. Indy won handily 3-0 last year. And now Rendon's got space to operate. A couple of strong touches. Just couldn't keep the ball at his feet.
Yeah, it was a great find by Jack Blake to find Rendon kind of streaking down that right side. With turf, sometimes the ball kind of bounces up a little bit higher than is ideal. With grass, you get a little bit of a kind of skip on it, and that bounce really threw off Rendon's momentum.
Nakamura was the midfielder that eventually got back and wrestled away possession. And Rendon picks his pocket right back, but is whistled for a foul, and a lot of the home fans and the home bench not happy with that whistle.
Yeah, that was a credit to Rendon kind of coming back there and sneaking up and poking it away. I'm not quite sure that was a foul, but oh well, we move on.
You got a quick look at Jordan Stewart on your screen, and this is normally where the play-by-play guy gives you all this biographical information on the head coach. Or I could turn to his former teammate and say, hey, tell us about Jordan Stewart.
Yeah, it was great catching up with him before the game. We were teammates in San Jose for the Earthquakes back in 2010, 11, 12, some kind of in that time frame. But one heck of a guy. He had nearly 400 career appearances, pro appearances in England and MLS, and I think 1 year in the USL. One heck of a left back, real technical player, and just all around great guy. So nothing but good things to say about Jordan Stewart.
In case you need me to add more depth, I don't think we did, but 110 appearances for Leicester City. More than 100 for Watford. As you said, 4 years for the Earthquakes. And yes, played with Phoenix Rising to wrap up his career. This is his 2nd full season. Joined Monterey Bay in August of 2024. Had been the head coach of San Jose's next pro team. And I did the math on this earlier this week. I believe it is 71 miles from San Jose to Monterey, California. And I know this, having flown into San Jose to attend a conference in Monterey 9 years ago. And wouldn't you know, the Indy 11 were playing the San Francisco Deltas that same weekend. And I happened to be in the crowd when Brad Ring scored his last professional goal with the Indy 11.
And then we had a warm embrace on the sideline. Is that
well,
right?
That's the way he likes to edit it. I was waiting for the hug, and I got stiffed for somebody else. But when we do it in post-production in a second, we'll fix it with AI now going forward.
There we go.
That's the way that it will end.
Yeah, no, but Monterey Bay is a beautiful, beautiful city.
Yes, it is.
I had the opportunity to get down there a couple times when I was out in San Jose.
Most Indy folks, the connection between this town and Monterey would be the fabulous road course at Laguna Seca, where the IndyCar Series will end their campaign this year. If you're a golfer, I know it's Masters weekend, but Pebble Beach may come to mind. Ball headed down. Luka Malashevich got a little forward in the attack for Monterey Bay. Now Indy looking to counter. Indy 11 Soccer is brought to us by Droplight. Fuel for brave brands to put your business in the limelight. Visit droplight.com.
Great ball.
Quinn, a golf-like chip for Masanvi. Masanvi with the flags up. Hence kind of the half-hearted effort on the shot and no rebound. So the offside flag up for the first time against the Indy 11 speedster. Well, we told you about Georgia Stewart. Let's talk about Sean McCauley. Sean's playing resume, maybe not as lengthy as Jordan's, even though he grew up playing in the Manchester United system as a youth. But Sean's coaching resume can be. In many years in Major League Soccer, was last at Minnesota United before coming to the Indy 11. Now in his third season here of coaching in Indianapolis. Again, Rendon just plays it up. Egu. Masanvi applying some pressure, and Blake forcing Malashevich to play it back to Delgado.
One thing on the Indy 11 coaching staff who played under Coach McCauley in Portland, which is really cool. It's good to see him having some success here in Indy. But also Jason Perry, otherwise known as JP, it's his birthday today. So happy birthday to JP.
Former Butler assistant is JP. Of course, this match is brought to us by the Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction, management, and investments. An absolutely perfect weather night. 65 degrees at kickoff. This is far different from when Monterey Bay was here last year on July 4th weekend. This feels like Monterey weather tonight.
Yeah, it really is perfect weather. That 60 to 65 range is great. Not too hot. Feel like you can run forever.
Great touch by Aiden Quinn to get that ball away from Amari Glasgow. You know, to your point, last week, again, rainy, cold in the 50s. But also pretty good weather conditions to play in. To that point, Sean McCauley used a sub last week. I think that'll be a little bit different this time around. Only Jack Blake in his first league start of the year did not play the full 90 minutes for the Indy 11 in that match. Hayden White trailing back. Georgi Lamtadze, the player that was closest to it. Here's Leggett. Leggett makes the overlapping run. Herbert clears it. Herbert's now gotten the start in the last handful of league matches as a center back. Indy asking for the flag to go up. It does not. Elijah Paul, the target for Monterey Bay. Paco Craig was there to knock it sideways for the Indy 11. And Monterey Bay will have the throw in. Indy 11 Soccer is brought to us by Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. Quinn the read. Again, to no one's surprise, he sees the game so well. Lindley finds Rendon. Rendon slides it by. Flag stays down. Time to cue the smoke in Indianapolis. In minute number 14, make it 3 for Bruno Rendon this Indy 11 season.
Such a good run from Rendon. A lot of times you see attacking players making straight runs or diagonal runs. He made a fantastic run from the wide right flank, kind of across the back line. You'll see it here. Jack Blake kind of calming things down, finding Cam Lindley, who plays a phenomenal through ball. And Rendon, just classy finish.
Give Cam Lindley the assist. And this Indy 11 team is not devoid of playmakers, whether it's Blake, whether it's Lindley, whether it's Quinn. You know, that midfield triumvirate that have, you know, almost approaching 30-plus years professional soccer. If Rendon can finish, the other guys will find a way to get him the ball, and Indy a goal to the good less than 15 minutes in.
Yeah, and I think Monterey Bay's bench put their hand up asking for an offsides. It was certainly close, but that run from Rendon is really an excellent run across the back line.
Foul to be called against Monterey Bay. It's a Monterey Bay team that struggled on the road last year, won just one time away from Cardinale Stadium. And again, to be fair, Monterey Bay has struggled in the championship. And only one goal scored so far this season. No wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. They have yet to finish higher than 11th in a given season in the West. Aiden White taking a moment to collect his thoughts.
And one of the problems for Monterey Bay here, and why that was one of the keys for them is to score first, is because now they're caught having to try to, you know, kind of catch the game up a little bit, right? They're kind of having to chase the game because they're down. Maybe not this early, but at some point if the scoreline stays the same. And they're not necessarily built for that, right, with 1 goal in the first 5 games. So that's why it's difficult for a team like this to fall down early.
Well, to be fair, they really haven't been routed. They had 1 3-0 loss earlier this year. And they've not been scoring, but they've not been giving up a lot. At the same time, this is a bit different because this is about as far away from home as they're going to be all year. This is one of the longer road trips you have in this league. Nakamura plays the long ball against Eric Dick. Plays that back to center, and maybe left a little too much meat on that bone from the Indy 11 perspective. He took a lead around the 20th minute last week on a penalty on a handball against Charlie All of Pittsburgh. Glasgow probably trying to do a little too much with that one. And a reset coming here for Indy and Eric Dick. And Omari's still on loan from the Chicago Fire. Actually played 16 matches in MLS last year and then played 12 for Loudoun United, joining the team in early August. In fact, did so just in time right as Indy was playing in Northern Virginia, as Loudoun was on their way to a first playoff spot in club history. Blake finds Masanvi. Masanvi again trying to get it to Rendon. Indy's leading goal scorer on the season. Good pressure applied by the Indy 11. Now a chance to reset. Your Central Indiana Ford dealers are a proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your Central Indiana Ford dealer today. And Quinn just knows where to be every step of the way.
Yeah, even that one, I don't think he was really even trying to clear it. He was just waiting for the attacking player to get close to him and kind of hit it off him and earns a throw-in.
Entered the weekend as the all-time leader in minutes played in USL Championship history. He and Sean Tosh have that back and forth going. Okello, great touch from Masanvi. Masanvi sprinting forward. Masanvi lines it up and probably would like to have that one back. But you clearly see a pattern forming as to how the Indy 11 plan to attack tonight.
Yeah, Rendon and Masanvi just got to keep making those runs. Yeah, Masanvi does a good job cutting off the trailing defender, but just doesn't get everything on that shot. He's going to wish he had that one back.
Scored his first goal in Indy 11 uniform in U.S. Open Cup play and the 3-0 victory against the Des Moines Menace back on March 17. Indy kind of picking their spots as terms of where they're going to turn up the press.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of on Okello. I think when he has the opportunity to force it one direction, then they're all going to step together. But you kind of see that with both sides. Neither team is really trying to consistently press.
Can this ball be tracked down? The answer is no. Right idea. Just could not make the connection. Could the visitors? It was Joel Garcia Jr. that was the intended target. Again, he's one of the guys back from last year. A throw-in coming from Monterey Bay. Okello could not keep that in play, and it will be a throw coming here for Monterey Bay. Bruno Rendon's third goal of the season has given Indy the early lead in this one. Elijah Paul, it's shoulder to shoulder by Herbert, and it will be a goal kick. And let us welcome our special guest. You know, it's Masters weekend, so it has to feel like a fireside chat.
Yeah.
Ryan Randolph, kind enough to join us, and kick for a cause. The scarf game is on point.
Indy 11 is really taking care of us today. Look at this. Good setup.
All right, the day job for you is what?
I'm with Bank of America.
Okay.
Been at B of A for about 20 years. I do commercial banking with B of A, and during the nighttime, I help out with Susan G. Komen here around the state of Indiana.
So tell us, and again, the cause that Susan G. Komen, I think, is very well known. I'm not sure I get much of an introduction on Susan G. Komen. Why is it so special for you? Why did this become a passion project for you?
Yeah, it's something that, about 10 years ago got involved just through a work connection and didn't really have a whole lot of, personal connection. But over time, you just meet people, and over 10 years, you'd be surprised how many people, that all of a sudden you get that call, right? And it's you've got breast cancer. And, tonight I'm wearing a shirt for a good dear friend of ours. She's a young mother, under 40 and with 3 little boys under the age of 7. Got breast cancer about a year ago, thankfully. Caught it early, and she's breast cancer free today. So that's why we do it.
So tonight is Kick for a Cause night, and the Susan G. Komen Foundation is the beneficiary of it. 11% of every ticket that was sold for tonight's game goes back to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. We are raffling off, and I love this, a tricked out Skag mower that has pink accents on it that is worth $10,000. So again, that is more money that is going to the cause as well. The old statement is the old elevator speech. You're kind of having that now on television. For those that maybe don't know as much about Susan G. Komen, what do you tell them immediately?
Yeah, so, there are going to be about 6,500 women in the state of Indiana this year that will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Over 1,000 women will die of breast cancer this year. So we spend every day raising money, raising awareness to help Hoosiers who need to be able to fight this deadly disease. And so our whole goal is to raise money, bring awareness, fund research, and the biggest way we do that is with our More Than Pink Walk that's coming up in October during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. October 3rd, it's down at Military Park. We've got about 10,000 people that come out for that event, and it's a really incredible way for us to support the survivor community.
Rendon steers it back in. Masanvi and Blake try to keep it in. Ask for a handball, will not get it. And Ryan Randolph, on behalf of the Susan G. Komen Foundation, kind enough to join us. And another passion of yours is soccer. Tell us about your soccer background.
Yeah, so played a little bit growing up, and took a break for a while through college and everything. And then, as a lot of people do, you got some kids, and they say, let's go play soccer. And they rope you back in and say, let's coach, Dad. So I've been coaching up in Carmel Dad's Club for a few years with my girls, and then now recently coaching for Carmel FC for my son.
If someone hears this conversation and wants to get involved in the fight, and again, cancer touches all of us in some way, and to a certain degree, breast cancer touches all of us in some way, what's the best way that someone that's hearing this right now can get involved?
Yeah, go out to Komen.org, take a look, and there are opportunities to get involved in various events. Check out Different Pink. We're going to be part of the May the parade down for the Indy 500 parade.
Correct.
So we'll be out on that. Watch out for the pink fire truck that's there, and come out and donate. really. I mean, that's the biggest thing. This stuff takes money. Research is expensive. And so any sort of way that you can support Komen through being out here at Indy 11, and go buy a raffle for the Skag mower.
I'm down with that just for the color of the logo.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Ryan, thanks for the time, buddy.
Thank
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Ryan Randolph again with Bank of America, but joining us on behalf of the Susan G. Komen Foundation. We'll get back to live action. A bit of a dust-up as we were having a conversation with Ryan for our chat that we normally have around the 20th minute. There is always a theme for every Indy 11 match. Again, this is Kick for a Cause night, and Indy 11 players are wearing pink warm-ups that will be auctioned off to help raise additional monies as well.
Yeah, well, we were talking to Ryan, kind of bang-bang play there. Quinn went up for a hard challenge. Then right after that, Masanvi, I think maybe got his foot stepped on. Indy got the call.
And that is going to be the question for Masanvi. Foul being called against Monterey Bay and a card being shown against Monterey Bay.
Easy call for the ref there. He just completely lined up Rendon and barged into him. Not sure what I assume that's a retaliation from the play that just happened with Quinn.
A little frustration on the side of the Crispin Kelp. It will lead us to an Indy 11 free kick, a cavity free kick brought to us by Cornerstone Family Dentistry with locations in Carmel, Indianapolis, and in Danville. Now it's Frank about to check on Bruno Rendon. Bruno will soldier on. Lindley and Quinn will stand over this one. And again, the yellow given to Garcia Jr.
Dangerous opportunity here for Indy with Lindley and Quinn over the ball. They are a tall team, Indy, that is. They got some guys that can really attack the ball in the air. I think Herbert here on the backside. Okello, Rendon, a number of guys, Paco Craig. So if they get some good service in here, look for those guys to crash the back post.
It's Lindley. Leggett saw that one coming. O'Brien redirects. Herbert steers it down. That was straight off the training ground for a minute there. Trying to zig and zag like you're tacking a sailboat, trying to get that thing towards the 6. Nothing comes of it. Throw in coming for the Indy 11.
Yeah, Cam Lindley just didn't get enough on that free kick. He'd like to get it over that kind of first defender that's kind of usually zonal in that area, so just didn't get under it enough.
Counter opportunity here for Monterey Bay. 3 runners going forward. Hayden White got a boot to it. It will be a corner. First one for Monterey Bay tonight.
It's one of those plays, Rick, where the attacking player's probably pretty satisfied that he earned his team a corner kick, and White's probably pretty satisfied that he stopped that counterattack for Monterey Bay.
I mentioned Jordan Stewart's background of playing in England. Similar story for Hayden White. 250 appearances in English football. Bolton, Notts County, Blackpool, Mansfield Town, and Walsall amongst the places that Hayden plied his craft for, coming here in August of 24. Ball to the edge of the 6, and Herbert simply knocks this one back towards downtown Indianapolis. And again, there is Masanvi. He is as fast of a player as we have seen play for the Indy 11. And he's 5'8", $130, and maybe on both of those, to be frank, but man, can he scoot.
Yeah, and it is great hustle by him. You see Coach McCauley clapping for him after it. He didn't end up winning the ball, but what he did is he hustled Monterey Bay's kind of build-out opportunity, forced the goalkeeper to just kick it, and Indy wins the ball back, and now Indy's possessing the ball. And it started with his pressure up top.
His hustle made the other team cede possession.
Exactly.
Simple as that. Masanvi lets that roll through for Blake. Blake tries to play it right back to him, but Nick Ross did a good job of getting in the way. Good read by Paco Craig. And Blake just camped out and waited for the foul. Quinn starts quickly. even caught Rendon a bit by surprise.
I'd like to see if Okello can bring a couple of those down. He's kind of had the ball at his head a couple times, top of the box.
Advantage being played here. He quickly has numbers behind the ball. Leggett, the target. Got there in time, but again, does give away possession. Throw incoming for the Indy 11.
That's what Monterey Bay wants to see more of, though, right? Get Sebastian Leggett the ball in space, running on the attack at Indy's backline. Didn't quite work out in that sequence there, but more of those sequences, more of those actions is what they want on the attack.
Indy with the throw. You're looking for their second league victory. First one came here 3 weeks ago against Detroit City. Looking for the best deal in town? Check out the Pabst Blue Ribbon deck next time you're at Carroll Stadium and enjoy $3 PBRs all game long. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com or the Indy 11 box office. Day of game, Pabst Blue Ribbon, because you deserve a blue ribbon. It is Quinn charging forward. Masanvi hits him in stride. Okello could not really get his feet to it. It is off of a Monterey Bay defender, and it will be a corner kick coming for the Indy 11. All of our corner kicks presented by our friends at IBEW 481, and here is the play that earned said corner for the boys in blue.
Yeah, it was a pretty good sequence. Jack Blake just kind of hit it over the top for Masanvi to run onto. And Quinn with a great kind of 60, 70-yard run to make that kind of through ball run into the box. Leads to a corner kick for Cam Lindley here.
Lindley looking back post. Delgado with the punch. And Quinn quickly hustles back. Numbers forward here for the visitors in Monterey Bay. Herbert wheels and skies this one.
Well won by Bruno Rendon.
Foul against Noble Okello. And a card against Noble Okello. So both teams now with a card in each direction tonight. And Garcia, the player that has the card for Monterey, was the player that was fouled in that instance by Okello. Okello from Toronto, grew up in the Toronto FC Academy system. As you take a look at the foul that necessitated a yellow card from Joshua Encarnacion.
Yeah, didn't look like much, but I don't know if he kind of deemed his cleat was up or not. But
for Okello, his second yellow of the season. It's been a pretty card-free effort from the Indy 11 this year. Blake charging forward.
Got some runners on the right if he can hold on to it and wait for him to get there.
Slides it through again, trying to find Masanvi. Jack is a man of many skills. He's probably not going to be the guy that's going to outrun the defense in that scenario.
Yeah, he knew what he wanted to do, but he was just kind of getting pinched over to the left side. He knew he had runners coming over to the right. He was kind of stalling, waiting for them to get there, but just couldn't stall long enough. Opted to kind of put it in space and see if one of them could get on the end of it.
Jack now in his 11th professional season. First played against the Indy 11 when he played for Minnesota United in their NASL days in 2016. Saw extensive time playing for Mark Lowry in Jacksonville in 2017. Herbert. Well, frankly, he has been the name we have mentioned more often than not. And again, Rendon. And that's going to be called as a foul on Rendon.
That was a weird play. Garcia's been in the mix with a lot of these, Okello and Rendon. Not exactly sure what happened there. I would imagine Garcia kind of jumped in front of Rendon and tried to stop the break there, which is interesting that it's kind of called on Indy, but see if we get a look at it here. So Jack Blake sees him. Garcia definitely jumps in front of him, and Rendon's just trying to run. Yes, I think that was a missed one by the center ref there, but
Sean McCauley just has a seat to take it all in for a moment. Glasgow. Malashevich takes a deflection. Paco Craig gets there for the Indy 11. Here's Farnsworth. First time we have called his name tonight for Monterey Bay. And Herbert will just shepherd that ball past the byline for a Eric Dick goal kick.
I think Legette's doing a pretty good job kind of floating around, finding some pockets. He's floated out wide a couple times, found some pockets out there on the attacking left side for Monterey Bay.
And did a good job of hip checking Cam Lindley on that play as well.
Yeah.
Possession graphic on your screen. And this is what it looked like last week for the Indy 11.
Yeah, and I mean, look, everyone wants possession, but there are multiple ways to be successful. And it's not always the team that has the most possession, not always the team that creates the most chances. I think Indy kind of knows who they are in that regard, right? And they're not going to force a style of play if it doesn't necessarily suit them. So, hey, we got some big guys. We can defend pretty well. We got some dangerous attacking players. As we almost see Rendon kind of making something happen there again. So sit back, defend, make it easy. Don't give up a ton of chances, and can we hit them on the counterattack?
I think Indy was thinking about playing this way most of the year, and I think bringing in Massanvi almost cemented to do it further.
Yep.
This is going to be a lot of the old Route 1 ball, I think, from the Indy 11 this year. Use your speed and hit it long.
Yeah, not to say it's going to lead to a bunch of breakaways, right? But what can happen is a long ball that can be won by Inikello, as we see him.
Plays it across, doesn't get it past Farnsworth.
It's usually not that first long ball, right? It's usually the long ball that leads to a second ball that's won, picked up, and then it gets to Massanvi or Rendon who can make something happen.
At the edge of the 18, Blast does not get through, chested down by Herbert. We have called his name more often than not tonight. At the edge of the 18, shot. Eric Dick knew that he had it covered, watches the blast from Glasgow go wide.
Yeah, I think Herbert's had a really good 36 minutes here so far. Won a bunch of aerial battles. He's been solid defensively, one-on-one, communicating well in the back, organizing. Him and Paco Craig seem to have been on the same page. The whole game here so far. I think he's had a bright start to the game.
Herbert, fifth-year pro, spent the last couple of years with New Mexico and Las Vegas. Did not play the first two league matches, but has been in the starting lineup, replacing Mikel Rashid since that time. Lindley the read it again, just trying to launch Rendon. Gets behind the defense. Cuts it back, but nobody had made that run to that spot. Kello had just kind of checked up in that position. And a throw-in coming for the Indy 11.
Yeah, it's one of those. He's not played up there a ton. Him and Rendon haven't played a ton of games together, so I think some of that's just the chemistry or lack thereof in terms of where Rendon thought he would be in that moment.
Ross sweeps that one back to midfield. Lindley whistled for the foul. Took a bit of a nudge and went right back to the man that gave him said nut. This has been our score line for the last 25 minutes of play. O'Brien.
Turf monster.
Simply stumbled. Glasgow trying to slide it through. Nakamura looking back post, and right idea, just didn't have the timing nor the precision of pass, and another opportunity goes by the wayside for the visitors.
O'Brien put his hand up, looked over to the coaching staff like, hey, sorry guys. It was a great little back heel by Jack Blake that kind of sprung him. He had a bunch of space in front of him, but his feet got a little tangled up under him.
Soccer Saturday, here at every Saturday morning on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. We brought back our post-match conversations with Eric Dick and Jack Blake from last week's show. Head coach Sean McCauley and newest member of the Boys in Blue. You're not seeing him in tonight's contest, but Mohamed Omar, played at the University of Notre Dame, represents Somalia in terms of international soccer, but is from Canada, grew up with Noble Okello. Those conversations available in podcast form now. Catch it every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Possession needs to be dominated by the visitors. And the graphic we showed you before kickoff, these are the two teams at the bottom of the barrel in terms of possession this year in the championship, but frankly, it's a methodology of play that the Indy 11, this is their 5th league match. They have led in the last 4 of them, so their style has been working. Now, finishing has been a different story, as they have seen kind of 4 points evaporate in the last 5-10 minutes of matches each of the last 2 weeks. At Hartford and at home to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, those are tough ones when you really feel like you let points get away. I know that happened a number of times last year as well. So hopefully, for their sake, they can kind of buck that trend and close this game out strong. But tons of time here for Monterey Bay to work themselves back into this game.
Of course, this match is brought to us by your Central Indiana Ford dealers, proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. Rendon with Blake, Masandri, and Okello to choose from. Slides it forward. Jack Blake couldn't knock it home. That would have been the record-breaking goal had Blake found a way to slot that one through. Now Glasgow at the other end. Well done by Josh O'Brien, going back to his defender roots. A bit of a stumble, and may have inadvertently had someone shin hit him in the back of the head. And O'Brien playing a more forward role this season for the Indy 11. And we will go back. Player down on the opposite side. It's Hayden White for the Indy 11. Go back to the work of Delgado in goal to keep this a 1-score game.
Yeah, it was a great save by Delgado. Blake does well with it. 7-8 yards out.
That is an open hand that covered an entire back half of the net.
Yeah, big save. Huge save right before the halftime, too. I mean, if that goes in, Indy goes up into the halftime 2-0, that's, you know, doubling their lead. That's a big change here. Hopefully White is okay. Somewhat worrisome in terms of how it went down there, but looks like he's getting some treatment on his ankle perhaps.
And White, a player that dealt with injuries all year long, had off-season surgery. He has played every minute of every match so far for the Indy 11 in terms of league play. In the 2 matches that Indy played in the U.S. Open Cup, Sean McCauley played a largely rotated squad in those matches. Part of that because Indy played earlier than in previous years, because the Cup is earlier this year, because of the World Cup in June and July, but also as a way to, all right, you know, you break training camp and 23 guys are playing. You get to playing a league match every week and 13, 14 guys are playing. That was kind of a way to make sure everybody got their minutes early. Yep. Now you're kind of going to focus on the top 13, 14 players. White has been amongst that group.
Yeah, he's been a good stable presence in the back line for Indy for sure. There's some confusion in terms of can he go off on the far side of the field or this side of the field, and why that's important is because he is the right back.
Correct.
Right? So if he comes off on this near side of the field, then when he gets back on, he's got to run 60 yards back over there, and the play doesn't always wait for them to get back in position there.
Fans, you can show your Indy 11 pride. Get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today. So players warming up for the Indy 11.
I think Rendon sees what's going on. He's going to drop back into the right back position for the time being.
That was where he played for Northern Colorado, which makes what he's doing now all the more impressive.
Don't mind that ball by Paco Craig at all. It's nice to play and possess and tiki-taka and everything. Sometimes, hey, put it over the defensive back line. Let your fast guys run in on it. Maybe they get on the end of it. Maybe not, and they force the defenders to just lump it out of bounds. Now Indy has a throw in the attacking third.
Paco's been doing this for a long time. He knows what this team does well. Paco, 5 different occasions, first or second team all-league. Spent last year in North Carolina. Most well known for his days with Lou City.
Not quite sure why they're not letting Hayden White back on the field here.
48, he said. 48, he said. Hey, he said 48.
So he plays momentarily a man down. Hayden White now waved back on. See what our fourth official says in terms of additional time we'll play before halftime. 3 minutes is what will be added on. We'll hear from the head coach of the Indy 11, and Sean McCauley, coming up as we begin our halftime festivities. Bruno Rendon's 3rd goal of the season so far has stood up in this one. All 4 shots by the Indy 11 have been on target. 3 shots from Monterey Bay. None of them have reached the target just yet. And that will be a foul against Paco Craig at the edge of the 18. So Monterey Bay should have their best look here right before halftime. That is Elijah Paul, that is the player that is down in front of the 18 for the visitors.
It's a tough one, right? 'Cause shoulder to shoulder is legal. Now, if you're up in the air and kind of jumping, then it becomes a little gray. It looks like Paco Craig went for that ball strong. Certainly shoulder to shoulder. Certainly got some body contact there. Maybe refs saying, hey, you went in a little aggressive, or you kind of went into his back there as opposed to it being shoulder to shoulder. But either way, leads to a dangerous opportunity for Monterey Bay.
4 goals, 2 assists in 20 matches for Elijah last year. He was the 7th pick in the MLS Super Draft 3 years ago.
It's a tall wall. You got a big goalkeeper in Eric Dick. It's going to take a really good shot to score from here.
Glasgow does not get through the wall. Follow-up does not threaten Eric Dick.
Wall did their job there. Stood up strong, stayed sturdy.
With the applause of both the goalkeeper and the Brickyard Battalion. Again, we've got that wonderful camera angle from atop the BYB that shows you the action. The equivalent of the All-22 camera in the National Football League.
I think as we approach halftime here, Indy's got to be happy to have the 1-0 lead. But the Mitsanvi opportunity, the Jack Blake opportunity, they had 2 really good ones to double their lead and couldn't quite do it. See if they get one more go at it here.
Sanvi pushed off the ball. Lindley slides in, but could not track it down in time. As we're watching the play, we'll also glance the wristwatch of exactly as Joshua Encarnacion just did. And if Monterey Bay goes backward, this whistle may blow. Like that. Neutral ball means neutral time. It means time for us to catch up with the head coach of the Indy 11 in Sean McCauley. As my partner said, really 4 quality chances so far for the Indy 11. 1 of them has been converted. The 3rd goal of the season for Bruno Rendon with service from Cam Lindley. Coach McCauley joins us now. Coach, your thoughts about having a 1-goal lead going to halftime?
Yeah, I think we've deserved it. You know, I'm a bit disappointed not going in 2. You know, the keeper's made a great save from Jack's effort. You know, we just need to provide probably a little bit more quality in the attacking half of the field. You know, we've we've sort of got into good areas, and maybe the final balls can be a little bit better. But overall, I'm really pleased with the way we've controlled most of the game with the ball, and definitely without the ball, we've sort of limited them to not many chances at all.
Anything tactically you look to change in half number 2, Coach?
Just want to make sure that, like I said, Noble, it's not tactically as such, but we're putting him in a position where we want to use his ability and presence up front, and he's playing a lot of things one touch, so I'm just going to tell him why he's in the team because of his ability, and use it, and take an extra touch, take a couple of touches, and show us how good you are.
Thanks, my friend. We'll talk to you post-match.
Thank you.
Sean McCauley, head coach of the Indy 11, kind enough to join us. Indy 11, much like a week ago, have a 1-goal lead at halftime. Now against Jordan Stewart's club, looking to hold it for the full 3 points. Through 45, Indy 11 1, Monterey Bay 0. You're watching USL Championship Soccer on My Indy TV and ESPN+.
Odds are, you know the way to a person's heart is through their stomach, but maybe don't know much about complex blood and bone cancers. Or you know all the ins and outs of a chassis, not necessarily all about robotic heart valve surgery. And while he's thinking about bulldozers, you're not thinking about him ever needing a stem cell transplant. But if you do need care, trust the expert healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
Deep inside you, there's a spark waiting to be ignited, a yearning for a real connection, something that truly moves you. Find experiences that stir your soul in our new Kentucky home, where amazing nature and authentic bluegrass inspire you, where world-renowned bourbon and horses wow you. Kentucky. Find what moves you.
Owning a home can be complicated.
Why? Oops.
How am I going to explain this to your mother? She hasn't even been gone 2 hours.
You know what? I'm just going to call him.
Pros for over 80 years.
Back in downtown Indianapolis on an absolutely splendid Saturday evening. Home team has a 1-goal lead, courtesy of Bruno Rendon. Eric Dick has not been tested so far tonight. He certainly was last week. 7 saves, made the USL Championship Team of the Week. Again, Eric, Carmel High School, Butler University. He's back home. What have you seen so far in an Indy 11 uniform for a guy that is approaching 30 clean sheets over the last couple of seasons?
He's one of the best goalkeepers in the league. That's an easy statement to say. He's a big body. He's a calming presence. He's a great shot stopper. He's good in the air. He checks a lot of boxes when you're looking for a goalkeeper to stabilize your defense.
As is often the case for a goalkeeper, sometimes you don't really get your opportunity almost until your 30s. And that was the case for Eric. You're really playing in Pittsburgh every day the last couple of years was that first look, and he has taken the opportunity and ran with it.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I trained with him when he was at Butler, when he trained with Indy 11. You could tell he had a ton of potential, but to your point, he was young, right? And a lot of times it takes goalkeepers some years of experience to really start thriving, and that's what we're seeing here with Eric Dick the past couple seasons.
And as you can tell, Zeke currently in goal is not officially Eric's backup. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back on this gorgeous night in downtown Indianapolis where the home team leads it by 1. You're watching Indy 11 Soccer on My Indy TV and ESPN+.
Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prince Tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
This week on USL All Access, which championship team benefited the most from the third-round Open Cup draw? Ben Pierman, head coach of the Charleston Battery, becomes the second youngest and second fastest to 100 USL Championship victories. And how about MD Myers? Forward from the Tampa Bay Rowdies joins us to talk his unique career path and what it's like being the main man under Dom Casciato.
With more features to keep your account safe and secure. Northwest Bank is here for what's next.
Good dog.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines this week. Charleston Battery head coach Ben Pierman achieved his 100th victory in the championship in Week 5, the 6th coach in championship history to reach that milestone. And that 2-0 win was a big one, Charleston's first ever road victory against Louisville City. We have 4 remaining unbeaten teams: San Antonio, El Paso, Hartford, and Tampa Bay. The Rowdies are the lone team with all wins so far, 4 of them thanks in big part to crunch time. 4 goals scored in the final 15 minutes of matches plus added time, and 5 goals scored by substitutes. So our USL Championship Coach of the Month is no surprise. Dominic Casciato of those Tampa Bay Rowdies. Casciato helped rebuild that roster during the offseason and right now has everything working as planned. National broadcasts coming up in the USL Championship. Charleston Battery hosting those Rowdies next Saturday, and USL Cup El Clamico style, Rhode Island and Hartford. That match is on the 25th. Both of those matches are on CBS Sports Network. We're getting closer to the second half. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Odds are, you know the way to a person's heart is through their stomach, but maybe don't know much about complex blood and bone cancers. Or you know all the ins and outs of a chassis, not necessarily all about robotic heart valve surgery. And while he's thinking about bulldozers, you're not thinking about him ever needing a stem cell transplant. But if you do need care, trust the expert healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
Droplight is a venture studio. We don't sit on the sidelines. We build inside the brand. From stadiums to festivals to the fastest tracks in the world. We turn brands into something people feel. Turning ideas into traction, partnerships into pressure, and momentum you can't ignore. This is ignition. This is drop off. Fuel for brave brands.
Calling all Indy 11 fans. Don't miss your shot to win a brand new Skag Warrior zero-turn mower worth over $10,000. Entering is easy. Find the giveaway post at Indy 11 socials. Like it, comment, and share for your first entry. Want more chances to win? Make a donation by scanning the QR code on screen. Every dollar supports the Susan G. Komen Foundation. No purchase necessary, so don't wait. Enter now and join us April 11th for Indy 11's Kick for a Cause Night.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling. You can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Tonight's match is presented by your Central Indiana Ford dealers, a proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. And by IU Health. Indiana University Health is proud to be the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Indy 11, supporting athletes in our community with expert orthopedic and sports injury care close to home. As good as it gets weather-wise, a wee bit chilly, but trust me, we're not complaining about it. Nor the home fans complaining about the score. Indy 11, a one-goal lead over Monterey Bay FC, heading to half number 2. Back to our pitchside broadcast location alongside Brad Ring. Greg Rakestraw with you. Brad, thoughts on half number 1?
Yeah, look, a bright half for Indy, leading 1-0, as Coach McCauley alluded to. I think they had some opportunities to make it 2 or maybe even 3. Yeah. So for their sake, hopefully it doesn't come back and bite them.
Let's get you to highlights from half number 1. Obviously, the goal scored by Bruno Rendon is a big part of it. But as talked about, there were other opportunities. And Indy certainly played their style, which is play that long ball and use that speed in half number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. You see just in this clip, Masanvi kind of getting on the ends of things there. Rendon had a number of opportunities. I know Jack Blake had a good scoring opportunity as well.
Delgado with his top save of the match on that opportunity by Jack Blake in half number 1. Here is the end view of Lindley finding Rendon, and Rendon sliding it through Delgado.
Yeah, lovely ball from Cam Lindley. Great run from Rendon. Nice, relaxed, professional finish with his left through the goalkeeper's legs as well to put Indy up by 1.
That's 3 goals in the last 4 league matches for Bruno Rendon. Look at the shots, and again, big difference in the match is shots on target. Again, there's that possession number for the Indy 11, but I would reference the stat line above it for those that are concerned about the possession numbers
100%.
For the Indy 11.
Yeah, look at possession there, right? Monterey Bay 65%, and then look at all of the other ones on the left side. Shots on target 4-0. Obviously, goals is the only one that really matters. 1-0. In terms of quality chances, I'd say Indy has had 3 quality chances to Monterey Bay's maybe 1, or kind of half there early. They got a shot on goal, I think, perhaps, but yeah, Indy's dominating the important categories there on the top left.
No substitutions to start half number 2. There's going to be 1 sub, looks like, for Monterey Bay, which we'll update you on coming in a matter of moments. Looks like Georgi Lamtadze will have a seat in Wesley Leggett, who we know from his days with Loud United. In fact, he's got the lone goal scored this season for Monterey Bay. He'll come on and play the final 45. Take a look at scores from elsewhere around the championship. A couple of games already have been played. One midweek, one last night, and one that was late this afternoon. That midweeker saw Orange County beat San Antonio 2-0. Last night, a thriller in Northern Virginia. A late goal by Lou City following up their loss to Charleston last week. Loudon and Lou City played to a 3-3 draw last night. This afternoon up in Hamtramck, Detroit City, a 1-0 victory against Sporting Jacksonville. See some of the other matchups that will take place late night this evening. This is kind of the first week where there are a handful of interconference matchups of East playing West. Primarily teams have stayed within their own conference in the first 5 weeks of the season. Other games going on as we speak. El Paso is putting it on Hartford 3-0. Score that gets your attention is Brooklyn leading the Charleston Battery 2-0. Also of note, Rhode Island, who has yet to win this season, but they are winning in Lexington, 2-0. All those matches started simultaneous with this one. A little bit of a later start, but they're making up for lost time, as in St. Petersburg, both Tampa Bay and Oakland have each scored a goal in the opening 30 minutes or so, and that match is tied at a goal apiece, still in half number 1. Tonight's match is brought to us by Dormicaba. Dormicaba for every place that matters. And Lindley tries the long ball to Rendon to get things started in half number 2. You know, obviously we heard from Sean McCauley and got his perspective. If you're Jordan Stewart from Monterey Bay, how are you feeling about half number 1?
Not great. Obviously, you're feeling decent about the possession side of things, but as we just talked about, no real shots on goal, no real critical opportunities, and they've given up a handful of really good looks for Indy. So need to be cleaner in the back, need to have their possession lead to chances, right? Possession for possession's sake isn't going to do much, right? You need to, the whole point of possession is to open up the defense to create scoring opportunities and then score goals.
Foul going to be called against Indy. Inside of the 18 against Noble Okello.
Yeah, and one thing Sean McCauley said there at halftime, I completely agree with, and said 20 minutes or so prior, I'd like to see him hold the ball up a little bit more. He got some balls, kind of aerial balls, which are harder to deal with for sure, but he kept trying to flick them on. And hey, Noble, you're the point guy. Don't flick it on. Not many guys are coming in behind you. See if we can chest it down, hold it up, and then find Rendon's feet or Massanvi's feet or Jack Blake's feet underneath to keep the ball.
And again, part of that is the fact of the injury to Charlie Sharp, because he had that kind of center forward role at the start of the season. And frankly, we saw him in the opener at home against Detroit City. While did not have a goal, had one in the Open Cup match earlier that week. And an injury has kept him out since that time, and that will be a foul on the nudge by Leggett of Paco Craig. Restart coming for the Indy 11. And so Okello is kind of filling that role because really nobody else kind of is that target forward up top the way Charlie Sharp is for this team.
Right, right. And he's done well. He's been super active. He's led to some of those opportunities down the flanks. So he's doing well. I think Coach McCauley is just saying, hey, I think this is one thing that if he kind of tweaks this a little bit, it'll help us a lot in terms of having some more extended possessions.
And trying to hit that long ball, but overcooking it a little bit. Frankly, Delgado did not need to go track that down in the fashion in which he did for Monterey Bay. Delgado, a young guy. He doesn't turn 20 until the end of July.
And he's done pretty well. Not a whole ton. You can't blame him for Rendon's goal. And then, you know, has the block on Massanvi's shot, has the really good save for Jack Blake's shot.
And White looking for contact the entire way and draws it from Elijah Paul. And all smiles about it at the end of the play. And before we restart play, a bit of an extended conversation here at the other end of the park. Gives us a chance to tell you about the Keystone Group, specializing in transformation developments, construction management, and investments.
I think what Herbert's trying to do here is kind of drop it right on to Noble, see if he can hold it up. Looked like that's what Coach McCauley was kind of calling for there.
That'll be a foul on Quinn. A professional foul by the veteran. Second in USL Championship history in terms of assists with 61. Only behind Canardo Forbes. Back to kind of a familiar pattern. Monterey Bay trying to kind of restart at the back. Glasgow fills the void. Slides it through Leggett, the blast, and Leggett past Eric Dick. Second goal of the season for him and for Monterey Bay, and we're tied in minute 51.
It's a big-time goal for Monterey Bay to get back into this game. It's exactly what they needed to start off the second half. Let's see a replay coming here. Kind of a nothing ball, and then a big touch by White to give it away, which is unfortunate. Quinn tries to stay in front, just can't get there, and beats Eric Dick on the near post.
That goal was scored by number
Fantastic turn here by Leggett.
51st minute for Monterey Bay.
He had about a foot of space to slide that through, and he absolutely did. So the lead evaporated after nearly 40 minutes for the Indy 11. And now for Monterey Bay, can they find a second goal in this match? It's not a matter as if Indy 11 has kind of turned off the attack. It's just, can you find that breakthrough again? And Blake
is so smart. So smart getting his body between the defender and the ball. He didn't really have anywhere he could go. You know, he cuts it inside and knows he's kind of running out of space, and really smart player.
It is an Indy 11 free kick, a cavity free kick. Brought to you by Cornerstone Family Dentistry. Locations in Carmel, Indianapolis, and Danville. And a similar scenario for the Indy 11 when they defeated Detroit City 3 weeks ago. Got the opening goal. It was right before halftime. Then saw Darren Smith equalize as Okello was in an offside position. But then Indy found the game winner from Bruno Rendon. And trying to replicate that path to 3 points. Monterey Bay just 2 points so far this season, a pair of draws on their campaign.
Good ball out wide.
Masanvi never can bring it down to his feet. Not enough in it, says Mr. Encarnacion. First goal for Monterey Bay since 3 weeks ago. The 1-1 draw against a always solid Sacramento team. Played San Antonio to a 0-0 draw last week. It's an Indy 11 team that will see San Antonio later this year. He will head to South Texas to play. Friday night, July 31st, one of their national broadcasts for the upcoming season.
That's much better from Okello.
White trying to cut it back to Rendon. It's up to be an Indy 11 throw-in. Not far from the near side corner flag. Indy has twice scored twice in league play. Put in 2 against both Hartford as well as Detroit City. Not a big goal from the run of play last week, only from the penalty spot against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, look at that goal by Monterey Bay. Puts a lot of pressure back on Indy. There's no way they're going to be content with a tie here at home against Monterey Bay.
Okello earns the corner. Corner kick brought to us by IBEW 481. It's the second one of those for the Indy 11 this evening. With the left-footed in-swinger, it's Quinn that will take this here. Give you the pitch level view. Bending Bowen headed down. Delgado makes the save. Follow-up volley is sent home. Goal for the Indy 11. Make it 2. And is that the record setter for Jack Blake? It is.
The fantastic corner by Quinn. Love to see a replay on what exactly happened. Someone got their head on it. Fantastic save, and then it kind of just, I don't know, went in on the far post. We'll see a look here.
Well, if this is the record-setting goal for Jack Blake, it is fitting. Because it's a poacher's goal.
It's actually a bicycle, ironically enough, as he's kind of sitting in the goal and being held. What a finish.
So if it goes to Blake, his 28th career goal with the Indy 11, the poacher's goal reference, our late friend, your former coach Tim Hankinson, always referred to Eamon Zion as El Raton. The rat smells the cheese. Just hang around the goal. You will find the back of the net. And Blake has done exactly that. Third game he has played this season. He has found the back of the net in every one. So it's 2 for the Indy 11. They have reclaimed the lead. Game on here in Indianapolis. Now, to be fair, I'm not sure if Jack had not touched that ball, that thing may have already been heading across the goal line.
I think you're right. I think it may have gone in, but Jack definitely hit it last and assured that it went in. And I still didn't catch on the replay who had that first header, but a great run and great header on frame, which led to that sequence.
We take a flyer that it may have been O'Brien, but that is an educated guess.
Yeah.
When time allows, we'll take another look. Foul called against the Indy 11.
It looked like the save might have gone off the goalkeeper. I couldn't tell if it was his hand or his head. It happened all so quick. But a good response from Indy 11 after conceding early in the second half.
And he had a 2-1 lead against Detroit City, held on to it. But a 2-1 lead against Hartford, could not hold on to it. Rendon with the nudge on Garcia. It's whistled for the foul. Paco Craig boots that one towards the BYB. Rendon again, and not happy about it.
Yeah, he's gotten a couple soft fouls called on Rendon. I think they were fouls, but pretty soft ones, kind of back-to-backs, getting frustrated.
Pair of substitutions have made their way to the fourth official. They're going to be substituting a little bit earlier this evening. Eduardo Blancas, Belmar Joseph Jr. are the two substitutions that are awaiting to be entered into the match. Those will happen right now. So Sebastian Lletget will come off. Will be taken out before the 60th minute. Third time that Blancas has appeared as a substitute tonight. Omar Joseph Jr. on loan from his team in Switzerland, although he is from New Jersey. This is his third appearance as a substitute as well. Already 3 of 5 substitutions have been used by Monterey Bay. Our substitutions brought to us by Morales Group Staffing, offering flexibility in both staffing and operational efficiency.
Gotta wonder if the Sebastian Lletget sub was a fitness issue or kind of a predetermined, hey, he's going to go about 60 tonight.
When he was signed a week into the season, he's played in every match since he got to Monterey Bay, but they probably tried to control his minutes a little bit. Now numbers at the other end. Lindley, Massanvi, O'Brien. Lindley let that one go to Rendon, trying to cut it back. Right foot doesn't get through. But Rendon picks the pocket, plays it across. Agu got in the way. Corner kick coming. Brought to us by IBEW 481 for the Indy 11. And Bruno asking for the BYB to make a little noise, and they respond in kind.
think that ball over by Cam Lindley was great. He was hoping Massanvi would attack it, I think, with his head. Massanvi ended up leaving it for Rendon, which didn't quite work out. He won it back. Leads to a corner kick here.
Looking back post, Delgado again has to scramble to smack that one away, and Rendon will simply let it trickle into touch for an Indy 11 throw-in.
Yeah, good decision by Rendon to leave that one. Look, if he saves it, he's got a defender right on him. And with White's longer throw, you got Paco Craig coming forward looking for a flick. And Okello, you got some big guys to have a dangerous play at goal here.
White launches that one to the 6. Touch last by an Indy 11 player. It's a goal kick coming here for Delgado. Indy 11 Soccer is sponsored by All Occasion Tent Rental, creating lasting memories one event at a time.
Cam Lindley with a good job tracking back.
Hayden White, the overlapping run.
Great ball.
Okello finds O'Brien. O'Brien all the way through to Massanvi. Massanvi!
What a sequence by Indy 11. Started all the way in the back with Cam Lindley to Eric Dick to Rendon, the drop off White through. What a sequence.
We just steered it a little bit wide of the far post.
Kala with a great hold up play, and Brian with a great ball over. See the replay. I think ideally he keeps that first touch a little closer to him. I think it got away from him, not much, just a yard away from him, which kind of forced him to rush the shot a little bit.
Rendon checks up and conserves some energy for later in the fight. Again, Indy has yet to use a substitution. They went to the 80th minute before making a sub last, but they'll probably go a little quicker this time around. At the same time, they're also at a point in the season where they're not playing midweek matches for a while. Those do not pop back on the schedule for the Indy 11 until June. Foul going to be called. Lindley not happy about it. Glasgow and Blancas respond in kind. Paco Craig getting the ear of Joshua Encarnacion, not happy about the challenge on the Monterey Bay perspective. And now both team captains have been both summoned and sent away.
I mean, there should be no cards here. Cam Lindley sticking up for his teammate that just got fouled.
Take a look at how it happened.
Yeah, look, it kind of goes back. White does it. I love the play from White. He goes in hard. I'm not sure if it's a foul, not a foul, but either way, I love Cam Lindley sticking up for his teammate there.
Well, I think that's a foul, but I'm also okay with no card there too.
Yeah. Oh, totally, absolutely.
Not the best of clearances from Monterey Bay. And that's going to be deemed to be a foul against the Crispin Kelp. It is a free kick coming here for the Indy 11.
Good opportunity here.
There's a cavity free kick brought to us by Cornerstone Family Dentistry. Locations Carmel, Indianapolis, and Danville.
It may not seem very different. It's what, about maybe 18? Looks like maybe it's on top of the 18, but that kind of gap between there and a corner kick changes the angles for the goalkeeper. He is much more worried about that ball coming across and runners kind of getting in front of him.
And it's Quinn that will direct this one in. Glasgow. Free runner behind the play. Belmar Joseph.
Great tackle.
Josh O'Brien. Aaron Dick plays that back to the middle of the park. And Glasgow could not keep it at his feet.
Reminiscent of the guilty look in the first half. Glasgow kind of let it go out of bounds and stopped playing. I'm not sure if the sideline.
He may have been too honest for his own good, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and it was close.
Watch Wish TV, your local news source, online at wishtv.com, and download the All Indiana Sports app for free today. Leggett. Get back to it in time. He does. Nobody back post. From Monterey Bay perspective. Now Aiden Quinn again. Masanvi. Egu, good job to get there. But plays it back to the middle. Masanvi and Blake on the combination. Rendon in space. Lindley has a hit, but you know, sometimes as broadcasters, we lay out to sell the moment. I lay out to let Cam Lindley do whatever Cam's going to do.
Slap himself.
Whether that's self-harm twice, whether it's a primal scream for missing it.
Yeah.
When Cam hits goals, it tends to be of that ilk. 20-yard blasts from the edge of the 18.
Yeah, he obviously didn't hit it the way he wanted to hit it. Oh, he's on here.
Flag is down. Masanvi races out. Masanvi! Mega 3 for the Indy 11. His first goal in USL Championship play. The header by Herbert made it happen. And one of the smallest guys on the team has some serious ups to get to the front row of the Brickyard Battalion.
And they love that. They love it. What a play. Just a calm finish. See a replay here. It's off the goal kick, which is rare, but Herbert comes up with a huge win, and Masanvi just takes a chance. First touchdown with his chest, lines it up, picks it out, puts it in.
When you score 3 in a match, the focus is going to be on who the goal scorers were. Herbert's been really good for the Indy 11 tonight.
Very solid. Very solid. I remember we were talking about that at the 35, 36 minute mark, and he's played another 30 minutes or so of utmost quality. And it's rare for a center back to get an assist off a header from behind your own half.
Bruno Rendon hobbling a little bit, which is scary to see from the Indy 11 perspective, so he will come off immediately. He's a guy, frankly, Indy can ill afford to not have on the pitch on a long-term basis.
Yeah, hopefully this is nothing serious, but
substitutions brought to us by Morales Group Staffing, offering flexibility in both staffing and operational efficiencies. So make it 3 times in the last 4 league matches. Bruno Rendon has scored. He is the first player subbed off tonight by the Indy 11. And other than the Open Cup match against the Des Moines Menace, it is the first time that the Indy 11 have scored 3 in a league match this year. Second time that Monterey Bay has allowed 3 in a match this year. El Paso put up 3 against him back in week number 2. Craig. We'll stop it here. And really couldn't play advantage with the player down in the middle of the turf. And rare for Paco Craig that he gets his timing wrong. He got it wrong that time.
Yeah.
Quick restart here by Monterey Bay. Blake. He and Ross combined. What a win by Jack Blake. Kello. And it will be a throw in. I think advantage again was being played there, as that was a full-on arm and jersey tuck.
Yeah, it's not an advantage. You know, it's not an advantage if it then leads to a throw-in. Obviously, you'd much rather have a free kick on the corner of the 18 than a throw-in. So I understand the ref letting it play out for a second, but it was definitely a foul.
Sports the Match is brought to us by the Keystone Group, specializing in transmission developments, construction management, and investments. Throw coming for Hayden White.
Kind of dealing with the track there. You see a lot of times he's kind of curling that run. Now he's kind of just standing to throw it.
Another ball that was skied, but not hit exactly how Monterey Bay would have preferred it. Again, Hayden White with a 2-goal lead will buy a little extra time. And again, it's a dry night. You can use those extra lanes if the track is a run-up. On a wet night, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
On a night like tonight, get a little extra juice on the throw if you would choose. Glasgow shoulders Masanvi away. Kean Williams, by the way, will come on for the Indy 11 in the next substitution. Give some fresh legs up top to try to see out the match. Indy 11 soccer is sponsored by Dormakaba. Dormakaba for every place that matters. Good work by O'Brien. The Monterey Bay gets that ball first. Again, just play it sideways. And possession will be maintained by the Indy 11. Indy 11, 11 shots, 7 of those on target. Possession numbers haven't changed much, but frankly, the scoreboard dictates that Indy 11 fans aren't too concerned about possession right now. Edward Chisholm makes his way to the Indy 11 bench as well. I would assume that maybe Okello as well as Masanvi maybe are about to play their last for the Indy 11 tonight. Monterey Bay will have their third and as of now final substitution of the match. I guess they get a third window. They get one more coming because they made a sub at halftime. And one of their most veteran players coming on here as Amari Glasgow is done for the evening. Adrian Rebiar. It was college soccer at Cal State Monterey Bay at the Division II level. He's played all 5 years that Monterey Bay has been in the championship. He played in just one match so far this season as he comes in here. And all of our substitutions brought to us by Morales Group Staffing, offering flexibility in both staffing and operational efficiencies. Again, there's been 3 different periods of substitutions, but you get 3 sub windows, and the first sub was at halftime. So my apologies on that. Monterey Bay can still make another substitution if they deem appropriate. There's Hezron Barry, who came in for Bruno Rendon. Barry goes to the back. That allows Aiden Quinn to go further forward for the Indy 11. Now Williams and Chisholm make their way towards the 4th official. I said maybe it's Okello and Masanvi. Could be Jack Blake getting a curtain call here too. Blake is still a couple of weeks removed, coming back from a back issue. It is Quinn that will come out. The captain's armband goes to Hayden White. That is who Kean Williams will come on for. First time that Quinn has been subbed out of a match this season. And Chisholm will come on for Noble Okello. Chisholm has largely been in a substitutions role in his 2 years with the team. All of our substitutions again brought to us by our friends at Morales Group Staffing, offering flexibility in both staffing and operational efficiencies.
I think 2 good games from Quinn and Okello.
Chisholm goes down.
Yeah.
Card to be shown. Farnsworth gets the card and says, yep, no problem.
Right decision from the ref there.
And that actually goes back to the Masanvi foul, not the Chisholm foul. Is the reason for said card. See the resulting spill there. Again, that wasn't Farnsworth with contact on Chisholm.
Ironically enough, could have been a second yellow at the end of the play there.
Correct. It was on Blancas.
A yellow card caution has been issued to Monterey Bay SC's number 32, Zachary Farnsworth.
Don't really have that target forward up top for the Indy 11 currently. Williams and Chisholm will have to win the ball with speed if they do so up top. Williams played in the Canadian Premier League the last few seasons. Before that, played his professional soccer in Iceland. O'Brien, right idea. And immediately Jack Blake puts the thumb up and says, hey, I like what you're thinking.
Yeah, that was, saw what he was trying to do with it, and I think Blake and O'Brien just weren't on the same page there, but it was actually a really good kind of redirection header from O'Brien.
And frankly, I love the move. And we started to see this at the end of last year. Having Josh O'Brien play a little farther forward for the Indy 11. Solid defensive player. I think he's got more of a gift for the midfield, frankly.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And you see it here as he tracks back. He is not afraid to put in the work.
And O'Brien, one of the youngest players in the team, but now in his third year with the Indy 11. He's going to play college soccer at Washington, but Watford came calling. Spent a year training with them. Eric Dick, frankly, has not had to do much in tonight's match. Credit Leggett for beating him near side for the lone Monterey Bay goal so far.
You lose some of the aerial presence maybe with taking Okello out. Not maybe. You definitely lose some of the aerial presence. But a guy like Williams can kind of buzz around and get on the ball and hopefully leads to a little bit more possession. Gave the ball away maybe a little bit too easily on the last time there, but you saw some of his skill as soon as he got on the pitch connecting with Blake.
Ross, and again, Eric Dick is waiting on that one. Ross, a player in his 8th year in the USL Championship, 4 years in Sacramento, 3 with El Paso. He'll turn 35 later this year, will Ross. Played for one of the great team names in all of world soccer, Inverness Caledonian Thistle, in his home country. There will be a corner coming for the Indy 11. Corner kicks brought to us by IBEW 481. You had a former teammate, by the way, that played for Inverness Caledonian Thistle as well.
Who was that?
Wine Fund Williams.
The artist?
Yeah, I have a Owine painting in my house.
Do you really?
Absolutely.
Which one?
It was a nod to Indiana's rural roots. He loved one of the countryside and painting when he was here.
I love it.
Loose ball on the 6. Not swept away just yet. Blake goes down, and referee says no.
Yeah, I think that's the right call by the ref.
Long distance ball that Williams nudges forward, but nobody there.
I was interested in Hawaiian trying to do a family portrait for me, but I think his rates are maybe above my budget.
You're going to get a former teammate discount on that?
I don't know if that'll be enough.
For those that do not know, Owine played for the Indy 11 in 2018. Played many years for the Welsh national team. He's a goalkeeper coach, I think, in League One. I got to remember exactly where he's at these days. Leggett, the player that is down in a heap, the goal scorer. Smarting. A little ankle pain at the end of that play. The USL on CBS Sports Network kicks off April 18th with an Eastern Conference showdown. Charleston Battery takes on the fast-starting Tampa Bay Rowdies. Catch the action next Saturday night on CBS Sports Network on April the 18th. Saturday afternoon game, 3 o'clock on that one. My apologies. Tampa Bay has pulled their first 12 points out of their first 4 matches. And they and Oakland were tied at a goal apiece at last update. Indy will go to play in St. Petersburg at Al Lang on May 2nd. Great block by Chisholm. Tampa Bay team has historically given Indy fits. My broadcast partner last played for the Indy 11 8 seasons ago. My broadcast partner was also on the last Indy 11 team that beat Tampa Bay 2-0 at Lucas Oil Stadium in September of 2018.
Quality club down there in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, last year was a rare year where they struggled. Yet they still pulled 6 points against the Indy 11 in 2 matches last year. O'Brien just putting in the hard work.
Yeah, he looks gassed.
Masanvi gets taken out, and that will be a yellow. And again, more frustration shown by the visitors in Monterey Bay.
It's great work by Masanvi there. Let's see where he plays. It's his jersey tug first. Kind of cuts back, beats another defender, and frustration.
There's been a few of those fouls from Monterey Bay tonight. And again, it's been a long season already for them. In match number 6, and get to pulled all 3 points.
Well, and Masanvi is one of those players. I played against a lot of guys like that who they're just quick, they're fast, they're skillful, and when you're down by 2, sometimes that's all you can do.
Was an Indy 11 free kick, a cavity free kick brought to us by Cornerstone Family Dentistry. Locations in Carmel, Indianapolis, and Danville. Paul.
Great track by Herbert.
Leggett. Barry. And that will be a goal kick. Ezron Barry does his job, but then apparently told Leggett that he did his job, and that was a little bit too much for Joshua Encarnacion, and Ezron Barry shown yellow.
Must have been something verbally. Herbert did a great job tracking back, and then Barry does a really good job here kind of getting into his body, and something at the end of it there. He yelled something, I think, in his ear. Maybe.
Kind of twice, kind of leaned in on him, and he probably got away with one of those, not a second.
Yeah.
Ezron spent time with the New England Revolution in the next pro level.
Not a yellow you want to pick up, though, with 10 minutes left here in this game, and the game's kind of getting physical. You don't want to pick up a cheap yellow card like that and then risk another one, putting your team in danger.
Foul going to be called against Edward Chisholm. Indy 11 soccer sponsored by Hyatt Place. Experience comfort in downtown Indianapolis. Of course, downtown Indianapolis hopping last weekend with the Final Four. Hyatt Place would have been the place to be in downtown Indianapolis last week. Belmont to Ross. Farnsworth. And Chizza just buzzing around, doing what he's supposed to be doing. Trying to make the team that's chasing this down 2 goals spend as much time going sideways as they do going forward. Flag goes up. Possession belongs to the Indy 11.
Yeah, it was out already. Herbert going in strong for that tackle. We've highlighted him a couple times, but continues to play a really good game here tonight.
Herbert, 28 years of age. Represents Trinidad and Tobago in terms of his international football. Flag goes up on Elijah Paul.
Great organization from the back line there. When someone's offsides like that, it shows everyone's on the same page, right? White is kind of that near side defender. Herbert's kind of playing off his shoulder. Paco Craig off of Herbert's shoulder, and they're just all aligned, all on the same page.
There are a lot of other scores that catch your attention around the league right now. Brooklyn beat Indy the first weekend of the season 1-0 on a penalty. Had not won since. They are leading the Charleston Battery 3-0, who just went to Louisville and stopped nearly a 2-year home streak without a loss. Brooklyn on Coney Island leading Charleston 3-0. El Paso in Connecticut leading Hartford 4-0. And Rhode Island leading Lexington in Lexington 3-0. And Tampa Bay and Oakland 2-2 down at Al Lang. On the cutback, Lindley leaves it for Blake. Here's Williams.
Tell you what, on 2 plays here with Barry, he's gotten beat initially by speed, but his next 5 to 10 yards is really quick, where he's catching right back up with the attacking player.
Very familiar with playing in this venue because he played his college soccer at a league rival of IU Indy. Played at Green Bay in the Horizon League. And Williams, that was kind of a calamity waiting to happen. Thankfully for Williams in the Indy 11, it was outside of the 18-yard box, but it will be a free kick coming. Almost the equivalent of a short corner coming here for Monterey Bay.
Kind of getting to that time here, Ray. Indy's got the lead. Now they got a 2-goal lead. Thank goodness for them, right? But this is kind of that time where they've given up some late goals and maybe tied a game they should have won, or lost a game they should have tied. Happened twice this year, happened a handful of times last year, or maybe more than a handful of times. So Coach McCauley and the Indy 11 staff really going to be hoping that the guys can close this game out strong, not concede, get a 2-goal win, and give them confidence in these late moments in games moving forward the rest of the year.
Goes all the way through. I think Hayden White gave it a touch, but it didn't need to.
Yeah, it's one of those, it better to be safe than sorry. You're not sure where that guy is on your backside, and he said, hey, might as well just nudge this thing out and live for the next play.
So corner inbound for Monterey Bay. Lindley got there first. Masanvi gets there next. Foul against Masanvi. Rebiar ended up rolling over and taking the ball with him. So third set piece here in a matter of moments for Monterey Bay.
Obviously it's a free kick kind of on the outskirts of the attacking third, not in a super dangerous area. It's kind of a tweener rake where if he has a go at goal here, pretty confident Eric Dick can make the save, but also it's central, so it's not wide, so it's also kind of an awkward crossing ability. We'll see what he does here.
It is Blockus that will line this one up and goes for goal. And Eric Dick, like we have said, he has been largely a spectator tonight, but he used all of that 6'5" frame to parry that one sideways in the 89th minute.
It was a great hit, great save.
Corner kick for Monterey Bay FC.
Right at the post, couldn't let that one go. Another corner kick coming from Monterey Bay. Rebiar has a hit, scuffs it. Loose change inside of the box. Deemed to be last touch by the Indy 11. This has all of a sudden turned into a defensive shell drill for the Indy 11.
Corner kick for Monterey Bay FC.
When they are chasing the match, Monterey Bay trying to go as quickly as possible. And Masanvi can finally buy some real estate for the Indy 11. That's off a Monterey Bay player. Your Central Indiana Ford dealer is a proud sponsor of Indy 11 soccer. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. Indy 11 soccer is also sponsored by the Denny Companies. Tearing down the past so you can build the future.
See a little adjustment here by Coach McCauley. He's kind of told O'Brien to sit in a little bit more. not necessarily next to Cam Lindley, but just provide a little bit more of a defensive presence as Monterey Bay throws guys forward to try to get one goal back.
4 minutes of additional time before this one is in the past tense. And you're looking to make it 7 points out of a possible 9 in home matches so far this year. That'll be a foul against Monterey Bay.
Well won by Barry.
Take a look at the scoring for the Indy 11 at half number 2. Again, to Monterey Bay's credit, Leggett gets his second goal of the season. Brought Monterey Bay level. This is going to be in the record-breaking goal. The shot by Paco Craig. Jack Blake steers it home. His 28th goal in all competitions for the Indy 11. A new franchise record in the league. Masanvi got the goal to make it a 2-goal cushion for the Indy 11.
That's something, Rake, we've heard Coach McCauley say a number of times, is putting away their chances to give them more than that 1-goal buffer so that the last 5 to 10 minutes isn't so stressful. So that goal by Masanvi was huge to go up 2.
12 shots tonight for the Indy 11. 7 of them have been on target. 3 of them have gotten by Delgado. O'Brien whistled for the foul. Indy 11 go on the road next Sunday to play the Birmingham Legion. And they are back home for Prinks Tires Cup action against Union Omaha on April the 25th. That's the next home match for the Indy 11. Flag goes up. That will shave another 20, 30 seconds off the clock from the Indy 11 perspective. Be a 3rd consecutive win for the Indy 11 against Monterey Bay. And now you play only half of the teams from the other conference. So we'll see if the streak continues next year, as in these 2 teams playing each other again next year. Indy 11's other Western Conference teams, they'll play at San Antonio, they'll play at Phoenix. Oakland comes here in August, or September rather, foul against Paco Craig. And he plays Lexington as well. That may not sound like a Western Conference team. They are. Though they are east of Indianapolis. Masanvi finds some space. And Hayden White can just air this one out. Dying embers of this one. With the Indy 11 and their fans appear to be going home happy tonight. Indy came in 8th in the East, the last playoff position. And again, the few of the teams behind them are in winning scenarios tonight. Like Brooklyn, like Rhode Island. Giveaway here. Opportunity for Chisholm to slide one by. Rounds the keeper. Saved off the line by Monterey Bay. That's unfortunately kind of been the season it's been for Edward Chisholm. Had a couple of opportunities in the Open Cup against Des Moines and couldn't put that one home.
Yeah, look, he does everything right there, but good play by the defender.
It does not matter in the overall outcome of this one. The Indy 11 have claimed their 2nd victory of the season, both in front of the faithful here in Indianapolis. Final score tonight from Carroll Stadium. It's the Indy 11 3, Monterey Bay FC 1. Post-match coverage comes your way in a matter of moments. You're watching USL Championship Soccer on MyIndy TV and ESPN Plus.
Odds are, you know the way to a person's heart is through their stomach, but maybe don't know much about complex blood and bone cancers. Or you know all the ins and outs of a chassis, not necessarily all about robotic heart valve surgery. And while he's thinking about bulldozers, you're not thinking about him ever needing a stem cell transplant. But if you do need care, trust the expert healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
Deep inside you, there's a spark waiting to be ignited, a yearning for a real connection, something that truly moves you. Find experiences that stir your soul in our new Kentucky home, where amazing nature and authentic bluegrass inspire you, where world-renowned bourbon and horses wow you. Kentucky, find what moves you.
Post-match meeting, it will be brief, it will be positive for the Indy 11, taking home all 3 points and scoring 3 times against Monterey Bay FC tonight. We'll have our official Desnuda Tequila post-game show in a matter of moments. We'll get straight to our Desnuda Tequila shot of the game. Coming up right now, Desnuda, 100% organic tequila, how real tequila tastes. And in terms of the level of technical brilliance of Jack Blake's goals, this might rank 28th out of 28. But that is officially the record breaker. He is now the all-time leading goal scorer in the history of the Indy 11.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, great effort by Paco Craig to get his head on that, and Blake just kind of battling for it and gets his foot on it to get the record.
So Jack has played 3 times this season, one of those being in U.S. Open Cup play. He has scored in all 3 matches, and so he's got a streak going. We'll see if that can continue against the Birmingham Legion next week. We'll take this quick time out. The Desnuda Tequila postgame show officially starts when we come back. Indy wins at 3-1 as you're watching on My Indy TV and ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
Calling all Indy 11 fans. Don't miss your shot to win a brand new Skag Warrior zero-turn mower worth over $10,000. Entering is easy. Find the giveaway post at Indy 11 socials. Like it, comment, and share for your first entry. Want more chances to win? Make a donation by scanning the QR code on screen. Every dollar supports the Susan G. Komen Foundation. No purchase necessary, so don't wait. Enter now and join us April 11th for Indy 11's Kick for a Cause Night.
Owning a home can be complicated.
Why?
Oops.
How am I going to explain this to your mother? She hasn't even been gone 2 hours.
You know what? I'm just going to call him.
Pros for over 80 years.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling, you can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
And it's time now for our Desnuda Tequila postgame show. Desnuda, 100% organic tequila. How real tequila tastes. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Ring with you. It is a winning Saturday night for the Indy 11. And the head coach of the team, and Sean McCauley, is standing by. Coach, congratulations on the win. How you feeling after that one?
Yeah, really good. Really pleased for the players and, you know, everybody that's come tonight to see us get a result. You know, the last couple of games we've had been a bit tough at the end, but I thought we thoroughly deserved the win tonight.
Just your thoughts about, again, you and I talked about, hey, it wasn't really a matter of tactics or changing anything. in half number 2. If that was the case, what were you able to execute that gave you that victory in half number 2?
You know, I think the resilience of the group was good, because I don't think we played as well in the second half as we did in the first half. So, you know, I wanted them to play with a little bit more quality in the final third. I think we got that in terms of, you know, individual moments. But as a team, we could have done a little bit better on certain things. But I'm really proud of the way that they dug in and, you know, and got the result, because, you know, it's difficult when, you know, a team's got nothing to lose at the end and they're throwing everybody forward. And I thought the subs came on and worked incredibly hard. And, you know, I just thought that we thoroughly deserved it. And, you know, that one goes in at the end for Kiz. I'm really gutted for him, because he worked so hard and he deserved a little reward there.
Hey, Coach, obviously with 3 goals, easy to look at the attack. But I thought Herbert played a really good game in the back. Paco Craig as well. Talk about the defensive line and Eric Dick behind him.
Yeah, I thought the 2 centre-backs today were outstanding, immense for us, because they never give the opposition cheap chances. They didn't make mistakes. They cleared the ball when it needed to be cleared. They sort of gave themselves good positions to keep possession, especially in the first half. But in the second half, when it needed to be challenged and won, they generally got the job done. And yeah, they were rock solid for us. And again, Eric, you know, he's going to come up with some big saves when we need him. And tonight we really didn't get put under that much pressure. But I'm sure that, you know, as we know, that he'll come up big for us. But the 2 centre-backs, like you said, Brad, were excellent for us tonight.
We had hoped that when we had the conversation about Jack Blake tying the scoring record last week, say, okay, 7 days, he'll break it. That's exactly what he did. Just your thoughts about Jack now being this franchise's all-time leading goal scorer?
I'm really pleased for him, because, you know, I think when I first came in, people were questioning, you know, how good is he and what's he doing? And I don't think he had the best season prior to me coming in. And he's been, you know, excellent, like week in, week out. He does the job. He's fit. He's good with the ball. He scores a goal. You know, I was just expecting it to probably be something from the edge of the box, like he usually does. The lads are having a little bit of laugh of he's claiming it. I'm not sure. I think it was a bit of skill. I think from what I saw. Yeah,
the bike from his butt.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So I'm really pleased that he's got that record, and I do feel that he'll get more goals, you know, in his time here. So that's going to be something that stands for a longer time, I think.
One more individual question. We'll let you go enjoy this one. Bruno Rendon now has scored 3 times in his last 4 league matches. What are you seeing from Bruno right now?
I think he's just a threat, isn't he? Him and Loic. You know, I thought Noble was really good in terms of his link-up play. You know, they all 3 of them provide a threat, but when Noble drops a little bit deeper to keep possession, it allows a lot of space for Bruno and Loic to get in, and for both of them to get goals. Fantastic. They both had other chances, you know, so they're doing the right thing. But Bruno's been a real threat, and he's a real weapon for us moving forward. And I'm pleased that he's on a goal-scoring run. That'd be good for us.
Sean, thanks for the time, my friend. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks. Cheers, guys.
Sean McCulloch, head coach of the Indy 11. Let's do our securing the win moment, which is brought to us by Allegiant. Got 3 goals to choose from. Got some excellent defensive efforts as well. And this is going to be the work of Masanvi. And again, what I read by Anthony Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, great win by Herbert. And this is kind of the one that put the nail in the coffin, so to speak, right? Gave him that 2-goal buffer. Great finish, calm, cool, collected, opened his body up so the goalkeeper didn't know if he was going near post, far post, and just slotted it in.
And for Loic Masanvi, his first goal in a championship match, his 2nd goal in total. Since joining the Indy 11 a little more than a month ago, what a find he has been for head coach Sean McCauley. We'll talk to that gentleman at some point in time in our Desnuda Tequila post-game show, hopefully sooner rather than later, on the banks of the White River. A beautiful night in Indianapolis. Indy 11 winning 3-1. Continued post-game coverage comes your way next on My Indy TV and ESPN+.
Deep inside you, there's a spark waiting to be ignited. A yearning for a real connection. Something that truly moves you. Find experiences that stir your soul in our new Kentucky home, where amazing nature and authentic bluegrass inspire you, where world-renowned bourbon and horses wow you. Kentucky, find what moves you.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 5.24% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Every place has a purpose, and the people who inhabit those places have their own reasons for being there. The last thing on their minds should be concerns about the safety of the places they are in. When it comes to security and safety for all the places that matter, Dormakaba offers a seamless flow of integrated solutions that allow people to move securely about their daily lives. Because the places that matter to you matter to us.
Hayden White hanging out with the family after another Indy 11 victory, their second of the season. After being beaten in their league opener at Brooklyn on March 8th, they have pulled points now from 4 consecutive matches, 8 of a possible 12. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Ring with you. We'll talk to that gentleman and Jack Blake coming up in a matter of moments. Loic Massanvi will join us too. But right now, let's get to our post-match highlights. And again, obviously his goal is going to be a big part of it. But the first one belonged to Bruno Rendon as Cam Lindley enters the top 20 in career assists in the USL Championship.
Yeah, awesome accomplishment for Cam Lindley, and what a finish from Bruno Rendon. And really it was the run leading up to that I think was the magic sauce.
And to be honest with you, that was kind of the big question for the season going in for the Indy 11 is who's going to score goals consistently. Well, now Bruno Rendon has 3 of them in the first 5 matches.
Yeah, and now we get to look at Monterey's goal in a brilliant turn and hit. Eric Dick doesn't get beat near post too frequently, but a great strike there to level it early in the second half.
Credit to Wesley Leggett. Again, his second goal of the season. Sadly, Monterey Bay, no other player scored this year other than him. That's the one they would claim tonight. The tie was short-lived. The guy that's putting the headsets on now puts a leg on it, and sometimes the brakes bounce your way. The bicycle kick from the goal line gives him number 28 for his Indy 11 career and makes it 2-1 for the Indy 11. And 13 minutes later, the goal we just showed you for the securing the win moment. Herbert, the header, Massanvi, the finish, and the Indy 11 claim a 3-1 victory.
Yeah, look, Massanvi missed an opportunity in the first half. I guarantee he was hoping to get another one to kind of rectify that, and that's exactly what he did in the second half to kind of seal it there for Indy 11.
Well, Jack Blake has now scored in 3 consecutive matches, which means he's had 2 consecutive matches putting the headsets on and talking to us post-game. We can keep this streak going for a while, partner. You are now the sole holder of the career goals scoring record for the Indy 11. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds great. It's a good feeling. Very proud moment. You know, coming here, I really wanted to accomplish things collectively and individually. So hopefully the trophy collectively is next.
Okay, walk us through what you saw and how that goal came about.
Yeah, I heard you guys call it a bike. I don't think...
I called it a butt bike.
Yeah, I don't think I could claim that one. Yeah, my son won't let me claim that one as a bike, I tell you that. No, I think it was Noble or someone headed a really good header. Keeper made a great save onto the bar, and then I saw it kind of go up. And I just tried to get the right side of my man, and, you know, luckily did. It was a great delivery from Quinney and a really good header at the front post.
Yeah, it was Paco Craig, and it actually hit off the goalkeeper's head that put it up in the air. It all happened so fast, it was hard for us to see it as well. But, yeah, congrats on obviously the record, Jack. And talk a little bit about the wingers, right? Because when you have Massanvi on the left and Rendon on the right, these are just very dangerous players. You can kind of roam under them. Talk about that kind of attacking freedom that you have.
You know, it gives, I don't think there's many right backs or left backs in the league that are watching us play that want to play against us right now. You know, they're a huge outlet for us, especially when we're under pressure. We want to hit teams on the counter-attack. You know, we want to play exciting football. And so those two, Bruno and Loic, you know, they allow us to do that. And for us attacking players underneath, it creates so much space for us to play because they're pushing their defense back, and you know, it gives us space. So everyone's happy. I'm really happy for Loic to get his goal. Bruno's just continuing his form. He's been superb this year. So yeah, long live, make it continue, you know.
Loic being a late ad, how has he changed how you guys want to play? Again, for those who don't know, he literally joined you the day before the last preseason friendly, and he's been in the lineup, if not as a starter, like every match since that point in time. How are you guys able to do things differently because of his addition to go opposite Bruno on the other side?
Yeah, you know, he came in late, but, you know, ultimately performances dictate if you play or not, and he's a real threat. He's a young, hungry player. You know, the most important thing is off the field. He's very hard-working. He's come into the group and he's shown that he wants to work hard first, and he's earned the respect to the group. And, you know, that's first and foremost in the culture of the team that we set. We make sure that everyone's a good person off the field and they, you know, integrate into the group. So he did that. And then, you know, he lets his feet do the talking. It's, he's an exciting player to play with, and I'm sure he's exciting to watch.
Those guys that have been around for 4 years helps out that culture, and that would be you, the all-time leading goal scorer for the Indy 11. Jack, go enjoy it. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Jack Blake again. Congratulations, passing the record of Eamon Zayed from 9 seasons ago. Now the singular all-time leading goal scorer in Indy 11 history. Time now for our Schleg lockdown play of the game. Again, for the Indy 11, it was the efforts of the guys up front. Jack Blake, not just the record-breaking goal, but the game-winning goal. And you'll see that Paco Craig wasn't exactly upset. He was celebrating the moment that ball went in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think initially he was probably upset because he made a great aggressive run with a hard header on frame. Also credit Aiden Quinn with a great ball in from the corner. That kind of started that whole situation, but congrats to Jack. Once again, having competed against him for years, love seeing the success he's having in Indy.
The hometown hero, the last guy still taking pictures and signing autographs, and Eric Dick, he may not make it to the locker room until about 11 o'clock at this rate. Take this quick timeout. We'll come back with more of the Desnuda Tequila postgame show. You're watching Indy 11 Soccer on MyIndy TV and ESPN+.
Odds are, you know the way to a person's heart is through their stomach, but maybe don't know much about complex blood and bone cancers. Or you know all the ins and outs of a chassis, not necessarily all about robotic heart valve surgery. And while he's thinking about bulldozers, you're not thinking about him ever needing a stem cell transplant. But if you do need care, trust the expert healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
Indiana is built on community, pride, and coming together. And on match day, that spirit lives at the heart of Indy 11.
And cuts it back, headed home. It is time to cue the smoke in Indianapolis for the first time this year.
Families, friends, lifelong fans, and first-time supporters alike. It's more than a match. It's a place where Indiana gathers to cheer, celebrate, and belong. Experience the energy at the mic. Get your tickets today at Indy11.com.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling, you can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Jack Blake now has the most goals in Indy 11 history. Let's take a look back at the best of Blake.
Right place, right time, and a heady play by Jack Blake.
Edge of the 6. Wenzati a touch. Blake a left foot. For a second time this season, a late equalizer from Jack Blake in Indianapolis, and it's time to cue the smoke. And we're tied at 1 in the 86 minutes.
Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky, and the debut of the USL on CBS. Damian Loss in his first year for Louisville in goal. Blake scores, and Indy has equalized here in Louisville. Blake turns the ship forward. Guinzotti. Blake! A brace! And it's back to a one-goal game. have a chance here with Jack Blake. He gets pushed inside 18. And he puts it home. Top left corner, never a doubt. And the 11 make the scoreboard just that, 1-1. Here against Miami, Foster. Foster working down to Blake. Blake wanted the one more, instead he scores! Jack Blake gives Indy the 2-goal lead.
What a strike with his supposedly weak foot. Looking at the pitch level view. Bending Bowen, headed down, Delgado makes the save. Follow-up volley is sent home. Goal for the Indy 11, make it 2. And is that the record setter for Jack Blake? It is. I go back to that streak that he was on early in 2024. That carried over from the preseason. He got on a heater, and it just kind of hasn't stopped for the course of the last 3 seasons. And again, this is a great kind of recap of what he has done. Leader in goals scored, 6th member of the Century Club. I'm standing next to one of those, the first one of those in club history. And again, this is an Indy 11, the last stat you see there, but this is in the history of this league. One of 19 players with a combination of 40 goals and 25 assists. Not too bad.
Yeah, look, I mean, it speaks to 2 things. It speaks to his quality, and it speaks to his longevity.
So with that, Jack got his goal tonight because Paco Craigs didn't cross the goal line. But Paco has been a great addition for the Indy 11 this season. There is this great long piece that we have on social for the Indy 11 about Paco's story. It's kind of a little snippet of that we want to share with you here tonight.
I started playing football from a very, very young age, as soon as I could walk. My dad, many know him as a good musician, but he also fancied himself as a footballer as a kid. So when he took the music route, he used his sons as like the footballers. So he was very present, drove me to every training game, all the cleats for me, like took really good care of me. All through my life growing up, it was a fun game. It was something I was good at quite quickly, but it was probably more until I was like 14 or 15 I got serious, which is when I joined West Ham Academy. And then from then on, it was like a lot more of the possibility to be a professional.
And hopefully in the future, I'd like to play football for money. If not, maybe go into coaching.
At West Ham at 18, I didn't get a professional contract, so they released me. And I was looking for teams throughout the whole professional ladder. And it was very difficult. So I ended up playing semi-professional for the year, from 18 years old to 19. But the semi-pro experience was quite brutal. It definitely helped mature me quickly, and I learned a lot, but it was also a bit of an unknown space where I wasn't sure what was going to happen to me. And in that moment, I didn't have a ton of guidance within the sport and the industry, so I didn't know what to do. And so my mum, being a really, really loving and caring mum, she saw this opportunity of going to college still in America so that I could still continue my education, still have a sports scholarship so I could play soccer. And get a degree for free. So that was kind of really my mum's idea. And at the time, because I was so kind of lost, basically, I felt like, worst case I can come home, but let me give it a chance. And then when I came out here, I just carried on making a life for myself here. The college years were my most important by far, because as an elite academy player in England, you obviously work so hard and sacrifice so much to become that when it gets slammed closed in your face, the door, you feel like you have no idea what's left.
Again, just a snippet of Paco's story. Indy 11 on social media has kind of the full part of that great group of young Harris players that have been in this league from rural Georgia in Division II. Paco now in his 2nd decade of playing in the championship. The guy we're going to talk to now is in his 2nd month of playing in the championship and has his 2nd goal with the Indy 11. It is Loic Massanvi that joins us now. I know you got one in Open Cup play against Des Moines. You got one here in front of the full stadium tonight. How you feeling after a 3-1 win?
Feels amazing, man. After missing those first 2 chances, I was a bit down on myself, but just had to keep going. I had great guys around me to kind of motivate me and just push for the next one. So I feel it was really good.
Obviously, you and I had a chance to speak for the radio show about a month ago, like literally right after you signed with the team. You really had no idea what to expect. You literally, the first match after the preseason friendly, you played the last 19 minutes. Now you're in the lineup. You played the full 90 tonight. What did you kind of think was going to happen, and how has this first month gone for you here in Indianapolis?
Coming in, the focus was, work my butt off to kind of get into the starting 11. And obviously, just because I've started, a couple games doesn't mean it's the end. I'm still working to keep my spot on the team and help the team in any way I can. So just looking to keep working and, just help the team in whatever ways I can.
Well, great game tonight, and congrats on the goal. Talk to me a little about playing with a guy like Jack Blake who can kind of float underneath and find yourself and Rendon, as you guys are just so dangerous on the wings.
Obviously, we have pace up top. It's one of our strongest suits, and Jack Blake is amazing. I always try to find him and kind of play off of him, but the chemistry, we're still working on that, and obviously we'll get better at it as the season goes on.
All right, take us through your goal, because it was a snap decision. Herbert sends a header 35 yards, and you're on a flyer. Take me through it from your perspective.
During the game, the opponent have, they struggled a bit with second balls and stuff. So as soon as Herbert had it, I knew I had to just, turn my jets on and score and do what I do and just put in the back of the net.
Well, apparently what you do is also leap tall buildings, because you hop the sponsor sign. And you made the first row of the Brickyard Battalion. You got some pretty good ups for a guy that is your height.
I just try to do my best out there, man.
Well, you basically came back from in the locker room to come do this interview. You got the slides on, kicking back after a game. We'll let you go celebrate with the team. Loic, congratulations on the first goal for the Indy 11, at least in championship play. Good luck in Birmingham next Sunday.
Thank you so much.
Loic Misanvi, kind enough to join us after the game. That'll do it for our player interviews and coach interview for tonight. So here is what is up next for the Indy 11. Again, they go on the road to Birmingham. That is a Sunday afternoon game at 5 o'clock next weekend. Back here for the opener of the Prinks Tires Cup. And the schedule a little bit different for the Prinks Tires Cup this year. A little more compact. It's every 3 weeks. So you'll see Union Omaha and at Fort Wayne. Those are both cup matches. And for the Indy 11, those cup matches, 3 of them will take place against League One teams. That's the good news. Indy lost to a League One team in Union Omaha in the Open Cup, so it doesn't mean it's an automatic win. At Tampa Bay on May 2nd, and Sporting Jacksonville, one of the 2 expansion teams this year in the Eastern Conference. Indy will see them for the first time on May 9th. Brad, final thoughts on this one?
A job well done for Indy 11, scoring 3 goals, good win. Misanvi finding the back of the net. Jack Blake getting the record. A lot of good to take away from tonight.
Indy has scored now in each of their last 4 league matches, and they have scored a combined 8 goals. You're starting to see the plan develop and come together here for the Indy 11. Sean McCauley's team get their 2nd win of the season, both in front of the home faithful at Michael A. Carroll Track and Soccer Stadium on the campus of IU Indy. After the equalizing goal early in half number 2, Indy found the back of the net twice, and one of them was a record breaker. That from Jack Blake. Your final score from downtown Indianapolis tonight: Indy 11-3, Monterey Bay 1. Thanks for watching Indy 11 Soccer on My Indy TV 23.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 5.24% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
the color in the world. I'm uncovering.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.